Gentlemen, welcome to CODA for the U.S. Grand Prix here for the ISRL Tier 2 Championship. I'm your host and main commentator, Follow Monkeys, and I'm joined here by ISRL Stunek in the commentator's booth as we have just loaded in to start the short qualifying session. So, Stunek, are you there with us?
How's it going today?
No, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. About yourself, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Just want to make sure my mic sounds good.
Alrighty, so just taking us through, we've got about 18 drivers here, at least to start qualifying. About 30 seconds through, nobody hitting the track just yet, and I'm trying to take a look on the screen. It looks very cloudy, but I can't really tell if there's rain or not, at least at the moment, or even if it's forecasted for the qualifying or even the race. It does look like we might see some before qualifying finishes. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. I'll take a moment here and get everything set up here. Yeah, let's put the fitted tire. Yeah, it's qualifying. Let's put all of this wonderful stuff on already. I think that's probably good to go. Now, see, everyone's taking their sweet time and getting out and starting their out laps. Already a minute gone and nobody's hit the track just yet. So I guess
race is gonna be rain, just being told into the stream chat. So
oh,
great.
oh wow, yeah.
Mixed
So maybe a little bit of setup tweaking before going out with the Parc Fermé rules, just to make sure that you've got that nice little balance between the dries and the wets. And it looks like we're finally starting to see some cars hit the track for their first laps. So let's see. So we'll ride with Irish. I'll call him Irish Potato here. He is I believe, is a reserve driver covering this week in that AlphaTauri car. We saw what he could do in Tier 3. He did have the pace. I think he had an incident or two. I didn't quite get to see what happened with him, but he definitely had the pace, setting a fastest lap. So we'll see if he can keep up that pace and maybe have a good result here in the Tier 2 race.
Yeah, I just want to bring up the fact that we got a couple new faces into the Tier 2.
Yeah, definitely.
As we got, as you said, Irish Potato. We also have Synchro moving up from Tier 3 into Tier 2. And the likes of Nathan and AJ Upon are also new. Bumblebee 35 is actually previously known as Alex Just, so he's not new. We got TRR Racing. They're all making their debuts here, so it should be good.
Yep, and we were talking about it back by, I guess you could say back by popular demand. We have ISRL X here covering as well in that Red Bull car once again this week after a very strong showing, I think, last week around the Dutch Grand Prix. So do you think he can, do you think he'll be able to bring out another strong showing as a reserve driver here in the around CODA?
Absolutely, he had a great race in the Tier 3 race, but due to unfortunate circumstances, he didn't know about going past the safety car and was subsequently disqualified from the session. But he showed strong pace, and he was in P1 after everybody made some pit stops during a safety car to give himself the advantage. But unfortunately, like I said, got disqualified. So he has the pace. Let's just see what he can do.
Yeah, we'll see what
he last week. So.
Oh yeah, we'll see what he can do. A little bit more drivers on the grid now, and he's actually, I think, right behind Synchro. So we'll see if that will help or hinder him. I see Irish Potato. He's started his lap, just going through the S sections now. Looking pretty good so far. But of course, I didn't quite get to see how he did in the first few turns. But we'll see what kind of times he can put up. He's on those soft tires, so probably a good indicator of what we would expect to see in terms of timing around the circuit. And I'm looking, it seems like it's a little bit of a mixed, at least early on. Half the grid going on softs, half the grid going on medium tires. So tell me a little bit, what do you think about the tire strategy? Do you think you're better off starting on those mediums, or do you think getting around on the softs is probably the better way to go about it?
I'm not sure, because I don't know if they're expecting rain at the beginning of the race or if the rain's coming later on, because they said that it was going to be mixed conditions. So if it's rain during the race, all these guys can just chuck all the soft tires in this qualifying session that they'd like. So I don't know. Just a little bit more information is needed here.
Oh yeah, a little bit more info is needed, but either way, I think the higher you can end up at the end of qualifying here, probably the better you're going to be. Especially if you're starting off in the wets, it's that much harder to pass. So you definitely, if you can do most of that work before the race even starts, that would be fantastic. As well, Irish Potato set a 135.5, which was instantly smashed, I guess you could say, by Chris 85, setting a 133.0. And that was on the medium tires, so Chris, at least so far, looking very fast in that McLaren.
Absolutely. You got to think that new Potato might actually have a little bit more fuel on board. So,
oh yeah.
Actually, Alex is saying in the chat, 20 minutes to rain during race. So it's gonna be dry to start.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be dry to start. So I guess qualifying plays. Yeah, Ix setting a 131.9. Which is nearly a second faster than the likes of Synchro, although Synchro and Chris, for that matter, set their times on the medium tires. But still, seeing a 131.9 from Ix is pretty impressive early on in this qualifying session, as that was Mushroom. I believe he's just serving his qualifying ban that he received last race.
Oh, it's a bit of a weird glitch on my screen as it says VR and Nathan, as well as Jordan Cruz, are on 28 lap full tires. So.
Oh, that's yeah, interesting little glitch you got there. We're not seeing the same info here, at least on the stream, thankfully. Good. I know it's been a bit of it's an ongoing issue with this game, as there's some yellow flags in the first sector. I think it might just be people letting others pass. 131.9 still the time to beat, as more drivers are setting times. TR Racing, not the best time, at least early on, probably just getting a banker lap in on those medium tires. So we'll probably see a much better lap this time around. Yep, Adjuan?
Nathan's coming around to complete his first lap here.
Yeah, so let's see what Nathan can do. Let's actually jump with him as he's about to cross the line. Not a bad lap time.
Oh, pretty good, solid.
Pretty good. Yep.
Speaking I see you finding a lot of pace in those tires. So.
Yeah, it must be. I guess the track conditions are very favorable for the medium tires, at least at this point in time, because the timings seem to be very, very close with the likes of. Well, when you're looking at Nathan and Wuhan? I don't know how to pronounce that name, apparently.
I say AJ Wuhan.
Oh, AJ Wuhan. Yep, that works for me.
Yeah.
But they're still very close to the likes of Ix. I mean, Ix is still holding that provisional pole with about 10 minutes to go, but I'm sure we'll probably see some quicker times as this qualifying session moves on.
Absolutely.
But let's take a look. I was going to ride with Cruz, but he invalidated. Who else is... I think Ivory Brian Mike might be on a lap. I think he's just starting his lap. So we'll see what he can do on. Yeah, we're right on board. We'll see what he can do on those medium tires in that Racing Point car. We saw the Racing Point had a good race in the around oh my goodness around Spain. We'll see if Ivory Brian Mike can channel that here around Coda for the Tier 2 race. Looking
Absolutely.
Like a decent lap so far, at least from what I can tell.
A little bit of a lock up into 11.
Oh, okay. Can we? All right. That was weird. Oh, messed around with I messed around with the analog sticks and kind of switched the views in a different car without me wanting to jump to a Renault there. So, all right, lesson learned. I'm not going to touch those anymore with the on the controller.
Well, the way that works is you have to click on the driver you want to view their onboards from, and then hit the R1 button to get on board,
okay.
And then you can move around.
And who is that parked
It's a little wonky.
Oh, okay. See, it looked like there was oh my goodness, a Ferrari that was parked up there. It looks like it. Oh no!
He's invalidated.
Ivory Brian Mike invalidates his time right on the last corner there. We'll see. Is he gonna be able to set another lap, or was that both laps done? Okay, thankfully it was just that lap, but still, that's a tough spot to invalidate your lap right at the end there, right at the end of the lap, as he locks up now going into that first turn. So that's gonna hinder him. Ix still holding on to that pole position with that 131.9.
Potato out there on another lap with the mediums, absolutely flying through the S section right now.
Oh yeah, looking like a good lap so far. He's actually nearly half a second up on his previous time. But he's definitely going to have to, find some time to make up on this lap because he's very far behind the pace, I guess you could say, about 4 seconds,
He's going to
three
get
and a half,
a
4
slipstream
seconds.
effect from the racing point as well.
Yeah, get some slipstream from, I think that's Ivory Brine Mike there, so that'll definitely help out. Good job on the Ferrari of getting out of the way, letting the faster cars go through, and that might actually be beneficial for him too. I think that was Vito.
It's never a good sign when Ivory Mike's on a hot lap and the guy behind him is catching him. He's also on a hot lap.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, but
Chris goes fastest.
Yeah. Oh, Chris. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So Chris on the soft tires. That's a 131.1. So finally we have. Well, I won't say finally, but we have somebody else on pole now. So we'll see can Ix bounce back and set an even better time.
Yeah. To second.
Yeah, Irish Potato on those medium tires too, setting a 131.9. So solid lap time from him. Much better than the previous one he had. And that's good enough for provisional P2 coming near the end of, closer to the end of qualifying now. I actually want to take a look to the likes of, let's actually jump with oh, well, maybe a bit of a commentator's curse there, but right as I jump to him, he ends up invalidating his lap time, so,
VR is on his lap, we got Gexy on his lap as well. You said Vito kind of validated, but
yeah, Vito invalidated.
Cruz.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on VR for now, since he's coming right up to the end. Oh, Gexy going P2.
Next across the line should be VR.
Yeah, VR had a bit of a tank slapper right at the end of the last corner, and I think he lost a bit of time there. Good enough for 7th, but gets knocked down to 8th as somebody else set I think that was Synchro who set a better time. Yeah, so it's starting to hit the dire moment, especially if you're the likes of Jordan, Vito, even Cruz and Matt, who haven't set times just yet. Considering we're only 5.5 minutes to go now in qualifying. Oh my.
Jordan's next to cross the line on the soft tire. Hasn't set a time yet, so looking to get himself into the top 10.
Yeah, I'll take a look. He's on those soft tires, so good choice to start off. Going around the last corner, looks like a decent exit there, and that'll P7. So not a bad lap for Jordan. Sets him right in the middle of the pack.
Right in the middle of all those medium runners. Just sits Jordan. Who's next to cross? Is that an Alpha? Oh, that's TR about to start his lap.
Oh yeah, that's TR about to start his lap. I think Vito might be on a take 2 of his lap now. From what I can see, it looks like it's going to.
Screaming.
Yeah, looks like it's going a little bit better for him since it's valid, and at this point, if you're Vito, unless you feel like you do have the time to go into the pits and set that last lap, might just want to put something on the board just for the sake of having something there. Take a look, coming down to the last 4 minutes of qualifying. Chris still sitting in provisional pole. 131.144 is the time to beat here in this qualifying session. We'll see if anybody can do it here. I'm riding with Vito. He's probably a good contender. He's always been up there here in the, at least so far in Season 3, so we'll see if he can keep that going around COTA here at the US Grand Prix. It's just about to cross the line. It's looking like a decent lap,
P3.
and up into P3 for Vito, setting a 131.8. So not as fast as the likes of Gexy and Chris. Won't be quick enough for pole, but
on his hot lap, going wide at the exit of the S section.
Yep, and flying a little under the radar, I guess, is Cruz, but he's just recently set a 131.4. Wow. So that's quick enough for P3, and that just knocks Vito right down to P4. And as I'm saying that, El Biku comes out of nowhere and sets a 131.3, and that's good enough for P2 now. Yep, and that's Matt's retiring from the session without setting a lap. He might have had a qualifying ban as well. I'm just gonna quickly go check that. Actually, I just had it open. Oh no!
Wow, AJ Wuhan with a 1:37.97 on provisional
Oh
pole.
my goodness! Completely missed that, but just completely blowing Chris's time out of the water there. And that's pretty impressive. I didn't think we would see, or I thought maybe like 130's 9, but I didn't think we'd see 137 or 130.7 there. At
Looks like
least
he's
not in
putting
tier
in a
two.
good lap here. What's it going to be? P6.
Yep, that's P6 for Ix in that Red Bull car, the 1314. So still goes up on, still sets a better time, but not quick enough to take that pole position back.
Oh, what a great debut for AJ Wuhan.
Yeah, great debut for him. Definitely in that Williams car too, no less. Really showing that he can.
Step aside and get a drink.
Alrighty. So take a look. We've got some yellow flags. Probably just drivers letting others through. What is that? Is that Cruz? That's going a little bit slowly there. I think. Okay, I think everything's okay. But yeah, AJ Wuhan still on pole. Chris and Elbiku round out the top three, but we'll see if anybody can change that as we get to the final, the dying moments of qualifying. So let's see. There's Wuhan. There's Wuhan here going into the pits as I expected him to. So we won't have to worry about that. Who is that? Is that? Let's see. No, that must be Lorenzo, I think. Oh well. No, who is that? Is that Jordan? Yeah, okay, so that is Jordan. He's on an out lap. Okay, so we'll see if Jordan, currently sitting in P10, we'll see if he can actually, better that as he's coming around. And oh my goodness, I just realized, Jordan actually, I believe he was given a qualifying ban for what happened with the Dutch GP. From what I can see. So he did set a time. The stewards might take a look at that at the end of the session unless there's something I missed. But alas, either way, we'll ride with him as he's going through the first sector in that S section here. It's looking pretty good. He's nearly 4/10 up on his time. So it's probably going to be a decent lap for him as AJ Wuhan, he retires. He's comfortable with his time, and to be completely honest, I don't blame him. Already 4/10 up on the likes of Chris, and I'm not too sure if anybody's going to be able to catch him there. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. I'll still stick with let's see, is that no, it's not. That's iRacing going into the pits. From what I can see, there's a big looks like there's a bit of a blockade going into the pits there. Let's see. Okay, that's Nathan on the outlap. I think everybody's on the outlaps. Cruz retires from the session as well. So, given that we're right at the end of qualifying, a lot of drivers just retiring, comfortable with their times, and just gonna leave it the way it is. Oh, more yellow flags here, but we'll see what Jordan can do with his times. He's just about to come around the last corner and cross the line here. What's it gonna be? Up to P9, sets a 131.996, but then gets bumped immediately down to P10 as VR sets a 130.9. Gexy sets a good time, 130.8, and that does bring Chris down to P4 from where he was sitting in P2 beforehand. And I think at this point we're probably just waiting for all the drivers just to finish their the last few laps. So let's see. Let's ride with Vito. Actually, it looks like he's on the way to set a time. Irish Potato sets a 130.8, so 1/10 off the time, but he just barely inches past Gexy. Since Irish Potato set the .887 and Gexy set .895, so very close times here, right at the end of qualifying. But it's still AJ Wuhan sitting on pole, at least for the time being. We'll see if anybody can beat that time. Stunek, are you back with us at all?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Fueled up and ready to go.
Fueled up and ready to go. Perfect. So just in time for the end of qualifying. Oh, well, there we go. Nathan actually sets a 130.5 just now, and that actually takes that provisional pole away from AJ Wuhan. So Nathan really just snagging that pole position right at the end.
And the debutantes on the front row.
Yeah, so it's a pretty solid showing for these for the new drivers, at least so far in qualifying, as Nathan, AJ, and Irish Potato, I think they're all either reserves or new to Tier 2. So strong showing.
I don't know if you covered it yet, but Mushroom calling for a win from the back of the grid today.
Oh, I did not see that at all. So there we go.
And I quote, "I am gonna win this race." And he's got fans in the chat as Jer and it looks like Pute are rooting for him to get this done. So this should be good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Like we spoke of, so.
There we go, Mushroom. It's on stream now, so you're gonna have to put your money where your mouth is now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to back it up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out in a moment as we're waiting for the end of qualifying. We've got this wonderful, just 1 second glitch bug thing that it does.
Well, while we have the time, who's the one you were looking out for today in this race?
Honestly, after what I saw in the Tier 3 and after what I see he can do in Tier 2, I'd like to... Irish Potato, I think, is somebody I want to look out for. Because I know definitely has the pace, and so as long as he can keep it clean, I think he's definitely going to be a contender. There's the likes of Vito, you know, that's always into play. As much as he didn't have the best qualifying, you know, Vito definitely has the race pace to to make up the time and probably compete for the win as well. But what about you? Who do you think? Who do you have if you're willing to make some bold predictions before the start of the race?
Well, after a disappointing Dutch Grand Prix at his home race last week with the interesting strategy call, look for VR to make his way towards the front of the grid. He has the pace. He just mixed up his strategy call last week, and that honestly cost him the win there. So look for him. And also Chris. Chris has been very consistent all this week during practices and everything. So look for Chris. And as always, like we mentioned, you got to look out for Mushroom calling a win from the back of the grid. So let's see it.
Yeah, we'll see. I look forward to seeing it, and if he can actually pull off that win, you know, I'm gonna be excited, and I want to see it happen, to be completely honest. But here we are, just getting ready to load into the race at the end of qualifying now. We might take a bit of a breather, maybe just a few minutes before the start of the race, just to kind of let the drivers get into race mode. It's looking pretty, well, sunny and cloudy to start the race. So at least from what I can tell, there's no sign of rain initially for the race. But I believe our insider knowledge said something like 20 minutes into the race is when we're going to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so might play a factor a little bit later on. As there we go, we've got the countdown going.
Great job on the comms, Sus. I believe he's heard us talk about his bold prediction. But as they say in F1, in order to win the race first, you must finish, Mushroom. So keep your head down, bud.
Yep. Yep, that's exactly it. So we had Irish Potato hit the continue, so we're just about ready to load up in about, well, it seems like just about now to start the formation laps. So hopefully everybody's ready, because we're going to be kicking things off soon. But yeah, first we have the formation lap, and I guess I can probably use this time to take us down the grid. So as we were mentioning, Nathan JB_17, he's starting from pole in that McLaren car with AJ Wuhan starting on the front row beside him in P2. We've got Irish Potato in third and Gexy beside him in fourth. And then behind them, it's VR and Chris, Vito and Elbiku starting 7th and 8th respectively, with Cruz and ISRL X rounding out the top 10. Then we've got Jordan and Synchro, Lorenzo and Bumblebee, formerly known as Alex Ja, for those of you who are not aware. Behind him, we've got Ivory Brian Mike, TRR Racing, and Mushroom and Mats rounding out the back of the grid. But I believe all eyes are probably going to be on that Mercedes car to see if he can make that last to first challenge before the race is over. He's got 28 laps to do it.
With mixed conditions, so.
Yep. Our pit stop strategy, not quite covering that. They're giving us either a one-stop soft to mediums, or I believe a soft medium for the two-stop. Here, what am I looking for? Let's actually... No, this is what I want to see. Oh, okay, perfect. There we go. So, of course, the top 10, starting on the tire they set the qualifying time on, they're all on the soft tires. But it looks like the likes of Jordan, Synchro, Bumblebee, and Mushroom, they're all starting on the mediums, and Ivory Brine Mike starting on the hard tires. So we'll take a look. Maybe Ivory Brine Mike might be looking to go hard tires all the way up to the rain.
Absolutely, not a bad call.
That's not a bad call, because then you're basically doing it's basically a no stop if everybody has to pit for the inters. Or I guess you could call it a one stop, but if everyone's going to have to go in anyways, it kind of cancels itself out, I would think. But we'll find out.
Advantage to the soft runners who might have to take a pit stop to get off their used softs and then go on to enter. So, and TRR Racing.
Yeah, right at the...
making contact in the back of the grid. So Mushroom's bid for the win is already on the back foot. That he'll start on the cool tires. Those are mediums as well, so...
Yeah, it does seem though it was done right at the end of the formation lap. So luckily for them, they're not going to be waiting for too long. Although I'm not too sure how that affects. There we go. I want the position change here, as we've got the 5 lights and we are waiting still.
Car just getting
waiting.
To the back of the grid now.
There we go, and we're off. And it looks like already some movement. Who is that? Gexy. What a start. What a start from Gexy, as Nathan's still holding on to the lead. Gexy and New Potato side by side. Yeah, it looked like Vito went wide. And what happened
Mushroom already up 4 spots.
Wow, Mushroom already up 4 spots. Yeah, 4 spots with a great start from him. As he's looking to make his way back up. We've got a yellow flag, and who is that? That's off. Is that TRR Racing? No, it isn't. That's, I think that was Irish Potato who... Oh, no, that's Mushroom!
And Mushroom's off!
Oh, that was Mushroom. Oh, no, after a great start. Unfortunately, that's wing damage on the first lap for Mushroom, and he's going to have a long way to climb now in order to get something done. But Irish Potato also falling 14 spots down to P17. As the VSC's deployed here very early on, so maybe Irish Potato and Mushroom got caught up, just because I'm seeing some wing damage there on Irish Potato, but I'm not too sure as we're going back green. So very short VSC. Let's jump back to the leaders as Nathan is still leading, but Gexy with a nice start up into second place very early on now. But AJ Wuhan is chasing him down. Now I'm keeping an eye with Chris, because he's got VR really close behind him now, and even Vito that's not looking to not looking to give any room to breathe. So we've got some good battles. Looks like Mats just passed Lorenzo. Mats had a great first lap. He's already up 7 spots. So he started all the way back with Mushroom, but had a bit of better luck here on the opening lap. As already the likes of El Biku going into the pits, so he must have taken a bit of damage. Mushroom's probably going to pit, and I believe Irish Potato are probably going to pit as well, since they all took some wing damage over the in those incidents. Let's take a look. VR getting very close to Chris now through these S sections, so it might just be only a matter of time before we see a move happening. Mats and Jordan going at it, and I think Mats made a move fairly easily around Jordan. Lots of race to go, so even if you lose out on a position, as long as you can keep up, then you shouldn't be too worried. But we'll see down the straight if anybody can actually get some moves done.
Biggest movers, biggest losers so far. Matt's up 9 positions. Actually, make that 10 positions as he goes by his teammate ISRL. And biggest loser, not meaning that they are a loser, but losing out in positions, that would be Irish Potato as he's dropped 14 spots.
Yeah, that was it was a tough start from Irish Potato. I believe he got caught up with an incident in the S section. But I'm looking at Mats and Ix, the two Red Bull cars. It looked like they're still battling it out. 'Cause Matt's got the move, but Ix is not looking to give up that spot without a fight, even if they are teammates. As Nathan sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and Lorenzo gets a 3-second time penalty.
A pretty good start from him.
Yeah, good start. Other than the one incident, it seems fairly clean going through now. I'm still keeping an eye on VR. That's just buying his time, looking to get past Chris. But I think Chris is doing a good job of defending, just taking the right lines. As we've actually got a yellow flag, and that's Ivory Bread Mike.
He's had a bit of a
maybe a bit of a tank slapper going around that first corner. But he's just gonna end up, he's gonna go back on track and just be on his way. VR very, very close to Chris now. He might actually get the move down the straight. Close. Look at that. We'll give the onboard. He's got I believe he's got the DRS. Oh no, wow! God. Oh my goodness, that's VR and Chris. God. Wow. Oh my goodness, right as I switched away from the onboard, the incident happened, and that's VR and Chris out just like that, and that actually brings out the full safety car. So there we go. We've got the damage here, just to give everyone a bit of an idea of how awful that was. But there we go. But oh my goodness, I'm not too sure what happened there.
The guys that I said that we need to look out or to look for in this race already have mushrooms. This could actually help Mushroom to bring them back.
Yeah, it could. And I'm seeing the likes of the top, a lot of these drivers on the soft tires. It looks like they're all going into the pits to, to get a set of medium tires on.
Stacking here.
Yep,
it's critical that none of them take a penalty.
Yep, so after all that, it looks like Jordan takes the lead since he started on the medium tires with Synchro and Bumblebee right behind him, as everybody else is going into the pits to get either like a set of mediums or just switch the tires, maybe try to ride this up to the rain portion of the Grand Prix, assuming the rain is still coming. But that was a crazy incident, and although I didn't quite get to see it too well, it almost looked like as if VR was just looking to make a move. Maybe Chris was looking to kind of close off the move, and there must have just been contact and just sending them into the wall.
Yeah, it looked like VR drove up right beside him, unnecessarily close to Chris, which gave Chris no option to move over. Just that'll be looked at.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be looked at probably by the stewards before the end of this, so we'll see what happens with that. But for the time being, here on lap 4, we continue onwards here under the safety car with, it looks like most, well, at least we've got the top 6 on the mediums. But then you have the likes of Vito and Cruz opting for the softs, with Matt deciding to go on the hards. So we're seeing a bunch of different strategies here here across the board. So I guess it's still anybody's guess as to, when the rain's gonna come, what the best strategy is. We'll probably find out soon enough. But for now, we've got the likes of Jordan, Synchro, and Bumblebee rounding out the top 3 here under the safety car, since I believe they're the only 3 drivers who haven't pit yet.
Only the top 3 didn't stop there.
Sorry, what was that?
The top 3 are the only ones not to have stopped under the safety car.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's saying that I thought that Mushroom might have pitted at the end of during the safety car, but it's saying he's only one stopped, so I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oops.
He's on 1 lap.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's 2 laps old now, so maybe he was just set so far behind, because he did have to completely change his front wing on that stop in the first lap. So that's about an 8.5-second stop, plus the time it takes to go from the start of the the start of the pit limiter to when he can get back on track. So I think it was just the sheer amount of time he had to make up.
Well, it should be good because, just like we've seen before, safety cars breed safety cars. Everybody's back bunched up together. A lot of these guys, from Nathan all the way down to Mushroom, all on fresh tires, looking to get at these guys in the top 3. Especially guys like Nathan and AJ Wuhan, who just trying to prove themselves. So
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll see what they can do now, since especially the likes of the likes of Nathan, AJ Wuhan, they're gonna have to actually make some moves now to get back up the rankings. So we'll get a better idea of what they can show us, since it's not just gonna be a little Sunday drive anymore from the front. Now I'm sure Mushroom's probably really happy about the safety car as well, since since we were talking about it, he can catch up to the grid now. So,
absolutely, and Irish Potato as well.
Yeah, so we're both catching up to the grid. So now, other than just the incident itself, it's almost like a no harm, no foul, starting from scratch here on lap 4, as it does look like the safety car is coming in this lap. So Jordan now in that Alfa Romeo car is going to be the new de facto safety car, as ISRL X takes a 5-second penalty for a collision with TRR Racing, it looks like. So he's probably not going to be too happy with that. I've seen this. I've seen it be a little. I guess you could say the stewards in the game being a little bit particular with these safety car penalties.
TR had to have run into the back of him, which is odd. And
yeah.
There's no damage to either car, so.
Yeah, we'll take a look, and
see.
Yeah, so we're just about to get started. Jordan going very, very slow, it looks like. But here
Synchro in his gearbox.
We're getting things kicked off, and Synchro right up there with him in that Haas car. And look at that, Synchro going down the inside, gets the move done fairly easily. But Jordan actually not looking to give up. But Nathan and Bumblebee still battling it out. Nathan does a good job getting ahead before the first turn, so he's already back up into third. So he's going to work his way back up the grid. Now the likes of Gexy's the same idea, that he's just trying to get past, but I think we might see probably a bit more patience from Gexy, as he's probably going to wait until the straightaway. Elbiku takes a time penalty, and who is that? Vito looks like he's going side by side with with AJ Wuhan, looking to make the move, and it's still anybody's spot here for both P7, P6, and I believe P4, P5, as they're basically 2x2 side by side going down the straight. Who's gonna get the spots? As let's quickly take a look. It looks like that's Gexy.
Oh, it's a huge lunge from. Who was that? It was one of the Red Bulls took a lunge down the inside of. I believe there's a.
Was that Ix?
Or
Ix or? Yeah, oh my goodness. Take a look. I'm still caught up in this little 4-car battle here between Bumblebee, Vito, Cruz, and AJ Wuhan. It looks like Bumblebee doing a good job of holding off Vito for the time being. But look at this. Cruz and AJ Wuhan going side by side. It looks like Cruz is just able to keep that spot. But it looks like there's still some battling going on. Ix looking to get in on the action, I believe, as we've actually got a yellow car and a safety car, a VSC, as
Mushroom
that's Lorenzo and Mushroom getting caught up, and that's Mushroom once again without a front wing, as he's going to have to pit and change that wing again. Hopefully, for his sake, that the virtual safety car stays out for long enough so that he doesn't lose too much time here, as he's going on another set of softs. So tough race so far for Mushroom, as he gets caught up with another incident, this time with Lorenzo. But at least it gives us a bit of a chance to breathe. We've got Synchro leading for the time being, being followed by Jordan, with Nathan right behind him as he's looking to work his way back up the grid after taking that pit stop under the safety car. And Bumblebee's fallen down the order a little bit, but he was doing a good job of holding off Vito up to this point. As we're back to racing now.
Wow, Mushroom gets a drive-through penalty to boot for speeding under safety car.
Oh my goodness, so definitely not the USA Grand Prix that Mushroom was hoping to have. And look at this, Cruz is trying to go down the inside of Vito right on the restart. It looked like there might have been a bit of elbows out from the angle. I think Cruz might just get that. No, actually, he's stuck on the outside. Vito had the better line going through that portion. So Vito is able to hold off, but now Cruz is going to have to watch out for AJ Wuhan, who's just looking. Oh, well, actually, AJ Wuhan gets a tank slapper, and that actually opens the door for Ix, who tries to make a move, but the door gets shut just in time. But some good awareness by Ix to not try to force something there. But it looks like it's still anybody's place to gain. For this battle between almost Bumblebee all the way down to Ix, and probably even Matt's looking to get in on it now. Oh, here we go. Nathan and Jordan, I believe, are battling it out. Nathan looks like he makes it pretty easy on the fresher set of tires. That bumps Jordan down. Cruz is able to make a move on Bumblebee, so Bumblebee gets bumped down into 7th. Oh, we're seeing. Look at this.
Rain coming down, driving on board with Jordan.
Yep. Oh, and there's contact between AJ Wuhan and Bumblebee. Sorry to cut you off there, but I believe it was just a racing incident there. But that bumps Bumblebee all the way down to 13th, and now down to 14th, as he gets caught up into a bit of an incident there, and he's going to have to work his way back up the field.
Gexy and Jordan side by side.
The two alphas side by side, and there we go with the onboard. You can definitely see the rain starting to fall now. So how is this going to affect the track and the race?
It's going to feel extra greasy, that's for sure.
Yep, extra greasy. So now we'll have to see who can who can hold off. Vito and Jordan, they're still battling it out now for P4, P5.
Switch back.
They're side by side, it looks like, and I think Vito might just get that. It looks like Vito is just able to keep that position. But I'm keeping an eye on Nathan because he's getting very, very close to synchro now. Nathan does have the tire advantage, and in this battle for the lead, it does look as though Nathan might just be able to get the move done on synchro.
As synchro's internet is just again coming back. At least on my screen, he's just moving back and forth.
Yeah, he is bouncing around a little bit as Elbiku passes Matt elsewhere on track. Ix gets a time penalty for multiple warnings, it looks like. So that's going to be 3 seconds added to his time. Cruz and Jordan still battling it out, surprise, surprise. But I want to take a look at Irish Potato as he's getting right up close to Matt's now in that Red Bull car, as he's going to try to get up into 10th spot here on lap 9, maybe down the straightaway here if DRS is enabled. I believe it is. As seeing more penalties coming through. Let's take a look at Cruz as he just gets past Jordan.
Change in the lead.
And it's that AJ Wuhan that's just looking to make a move as well, as Nathan actually takes the lead from Synchro. Vito passes Gexy. We're seeing a whole bunch of moves here on track. As Irish Potato gets past Mats. I believe that was AJ Wuhan getting past Jordan, and Vito getting past Gexy. Mushrooms are tired now. So look at that. That was actually in the S sections there. So unfortunately for Mushroom,
exact opposite of winning a race.
Nope, not quite the outcome Mushroom was expecting, I believe, as he was coming into the race. But alas, there's always next race for him. But for us, at least, we will trek on here around Coda as AJ Wuhan. He's going into the pits. What kind of tires is he going to put on? We'll see. It's probably still too early for the.
He's pitting Inter.
Always. Just as I was about to say, I think it's a little bit too early for it. He's taking the gamble. AJ Wuhan is getting those Inter tires on early. So we'll see if that'll actually if that'll come to his advantage later on in the race. But I think for now he's probably still going to be struggling to get around. but we also don't have the we don't have Jeff here in the commentators booth, so I couldn't really say what the conditions are going to be like in in a lap or two's
he's
time.
struggling right now on those inter. Just can't seem to find any grip, get any heat in the tires. He's struggling through the S section right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So maybe a little bit too early for those inters.
Just gaining on him rapidly.
Yeah,
as it stands now, anybody that finishes this race is gonna come home with a point. So everything's to play for these guys.
Yeah, yep. Everything's to, yeah, it does look like everything is to play for as Irish Potato passes Elbiku of 4P8. They're actually side by side going around the corner. And yeah, it looks like Irish Potato is able to complete the move. I'm not too sure who Royal Vikings is looking to join in and spectate the race, I guess. But we will trek on. Who is that? Okay, so that's Nathan going into the pits.
Alex Wuhan's he's already lost 2 seconds to Lorenzo following him.
Oh my goodness!
It's
yeah,
not the right move. They tried to jump the gun, and it's just not paid off.
Nope, and that's Nathan pitting from the lead onto the inters now as well. So I think we're starting to see a few bold strategy calls, but it might still be a little bit too early. Synchro will continue on those 10-lap old medium tires, but he's gonna have Vito right behind him on the slightly fresher soft tires.
Lorenzo gained 4 seconds in 1 lap on AJ Wuhan.
Yep, and I'm even looking at looks like even with Nathan, the gaps are just the gap is just growing and growing. It's not getting any smaller.
You want to be in the right spot because the only telltale signs is when it's the switchover period.
Yeah, and that's
DRS is disabled. And we're just not seeing the rain on track. They would tell you to. Look at this. Vito.
Oh, no, it's just Vito. Yeah, he just flies by Synchro, and that was long before the turn. So Vito now pretty comfortably. Yep, I believe so in those inter tires. And Ix was looking to make a move on Irish Potato in that Red Bull car. He's got the tire advantage with the soft tires.
Nathan and Iverbrand Mike.
Oh, well, look at that. Let's actually take a look.
Mike, you can see Nathan struggling to find any sort of grip.
Oh, yeah, we can see it now. Looks like, look at the amount of grip Bumblebee is getting as he, yeah, right on the exit of the turn, Bumblebee getting so much more grip on those, on the dry tires. But it looks like there's more and more drivers now. Cause even Vito on the inters, Matt's getting off the hard tires. So unless he's going on the inters too, Bumblebee's pitting, so he's probably gonna get off those medium tires. So it still seems like there's a decent amount of drivers looking to get on those wet tires, which, to me, I still think it's too early, but I guess they're looking to make the bold call. As we've got Irish Potato just right up behind Jordan there for a little bit, almost pushing him through the S section. As we have a yellow flag in Sector 3, and that's Lorenzo, who retires from the session. So he's yep. Yeah, I was about to say he just gave up some guaranteed points for himself and the team. So not quite what you're looking to do here, but alas, here we go. So we're down to 14 runners now here on lap 12. So this
hasn't taken his overtake button off.
He's sliding around now on those medium tires. So maybe getting on the wet.
No invitation.
No.
Oh, Iverbrand Mike is out.
What happened here with
on the DRS straight?
Let's take. Oh, look at that! Right into the wall on the right-hand side. As we'll see it with Bumblebee, as he's going very, very slow, and I think that just goes to show the track conditions that we're seeing now. Where I think actually now we might be in that weird in-between spot where the dry tires aren't great, but the wet tires aren't great either.
Everybody's coming in for inter.
Yeah, because I think with the Ivory-Brine Mike, I think what probably happened is just taking the left-hander like normal, but just getting too much of a tank slapper coming out and just not being able to catch it. Mats gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC.
costly.
Yeah, very costly, and it's all starting to unfold as it looks like Synchro is still in the lead, but with Vito literally right up behind him. Vito actually gets the better traction around the first turn and actually takes the first place from Synchro, who's trying to get the heat in those inter tires and just not quite able to keep ahead of Vito there. So Vito up into the lead.
Slow down the back straight. You gotta say, Synchro's put himself in a good position so far this race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Position change.
Yeah, he's in a good spot.
Yeah, he's up 10 spots to be in the podium. This is his first race in Tier 2. Previously in Tier 3, didn't have the results in Tier 3, but showing today that he's quite capable of bringing home results.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely time for inters now, as I'm seeing TRR racing on the medium tires, and he is just getting...
Oh boy.
He is getting passed like an LMP2 car is being passed by LMP1 cars, it looks like. So definitely time to get on the intermediate tires if you're TRR racing.
It's as if he has no wig. This Bumblebee just flies by him.
Yeah, just flying by. So I mean, probably a good call from those who pit a little bit early now. Just come to think of it, given how quickly these conditions have changed.
I wouldn't say so for AJ Wuhan, as he pitted too early.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too early for AJ Wuhan, but I mean, the likes of, I think, even when like Vito and Synchro, when they came in, I think that was probably perfect timing for it. As it looks like Synchro now is getting the heat in the tires, and he's doing a good job of staying with Vito, and I think he's actually starting to close the gap a little bit. So you might actually have a battle on our hands for the podium spots. As now even Gexy is looking to get involved too, as the gap between the top three runners, the gaps to one another are all under a second. So I'm not too sure what's going on with these.
Oh, it's Lorenzo's ghost.
Oh, and we have a safety car, and that's El Biku.
Oh no.
That's El Biku parked right in the middle of the track. He broke his... What happened to El Biku?
It's quite interesting.
Yeah, El Biku, it looks like I don't know what happened to El Biku. He's just sitting in the middle of the track.
Not
with
the accident you would normally see in that part of the track, but...
No, he's got a...
Anything's possible.
Yeah, a broken tire. I don't know if there was contact with another driver, or if he just really hit the wall that hard that he bounced back to the middle of the track, because that's what kind of surprised me, just the fact that he's parked sideways right in the middle of the track. So it might have actually been
a huge impact with the wall. To be pushed back out onto the circuit like that is incredible.
Yeah, unless it was contact with another driver, maybe it's just the case of the weak oh my goodness, the weak suspension on these cars. But either way, that's El Biku's race over just like that on lap 14. So another DNF here, as we're now down to 12 drivers and a safety car.
Eric,
yeah.
If you were Vito sitting there in the lead, and you know that you're fighting for not only a driver's championship, but more importantly, you're also fighting for a constructor's championship. And to see that you're in the lead right now, sitting pretty, and you see that your teammate just decided to give up and retired in the pit. And now seeing that all these cars have retired, so everybody that's finishing this race is getting points, and he retired in the pit and didn't even give himself the opportunity, because the safety car, whatever problems he would have had, wouldn't have brought him back to the field.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just absolutely screwed his team over with those points.
Oh, 100%. Like, not a great call from Lorenzo, just retiring before the race is even over. Especially with the guaranteed points on the board. I'm not too sure what was going through his head at the time.
Yeah, Ferrari's sitting in second with 110 points behind Alfa Romeo. They're only 13 points out of the lead in the constructors, and for him to do that, it's just nonsensical. You fight for every point.
Oh yeah, and that's I mean, they're. Oh, oops, sorry about that, everyone. Everybody watching. Had a bit of a slip on my controller there, but no, that's I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow, especially if you're Vito looking to bring in a good haul of points and seeing that your teammates just kind of leaves you hanging like that. I mean, I wouldn't be too happy personally, but you know, maybe there's some underlying issues with Lorenzo that that we're not aware of here in the commentators booth.
I don't know if Lorenzo is Michael, but he says, "Boy, sorry, I need to go. It's storming."
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, looks like it's storming where Michael is, and it's definitely storming where we are here, where we are now in Coda as well. As we're under the safety car here on lap 15.
Yes. I was gonna say Synchro up 10 spots, sitting in second. Sitting in between the two drivers that are fighting for the championship. Because it is between Gexy and Vito, separated by only 2 points. Vito with 98, Gexy with 96. And then it's all the way back with 58 points. And third is Thomas LB, who's not even here today. So these two drivers sit in front of the field, being split by the Haas. Fighting. So every point from these guys can go slow.
Yep, and that's Cruz and Mats going into the pits. So I'm not too sure what they're looking to do. Let's take a look. Are they getting on? Cruz is going on full wets, and so is Mats. Wow. So pitting a little bit early here on the full wets. It does look like the conditions have changed very quickly. Because when we think about just a few laps ago when the safety car came out, it was still looking pretty dry on circuits. All right, like we saw the rain starting up, but now it's looking pretty.
Going on the full wets, so maybe they're seeing something that we're not seeing.
Maybe could just be that the rain was just destined to get worse and worse. Because I am seeing the conditions on track definitely getting worse and worse. Let's actually.
Well, you're riding around at a slower pace with the safety car out, so the cars aren't. I don't know if it works in the games, it does in real life, but the cars aren't moving the water off the racing line. So it seems like there's less grip, obviously, due to the fact that you drive around slower speed. So you just don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on the spray just to see what's that looking like. It's not super crazy, but I did actually see Vito get a bit of a tank slapper going out of that turn before you hit the back straight. So maybe it is a little bit more slippery, and maybe the conditions are getting worse and worse, just in a very quick manner. But we'll have to see, because we've got about 12 laps to go. So there's a decent amount of time, even if you're making another pit stop. But the window is probably going to be closing fairly soon, I would think.
Let's just see how Cruz and Mats, they're right there in 10th and 11th, both on the full wet tire behind Cruz and Bumblebee, who are on the Inter. So to see if there's a pace advantage. And if that happens, it's going to trigger the entire field to go in for wets. But it could pay off. It's a make or break situation. Honestly, Cruz and Mats had nothing to really lose by trying it out. So,
well, that's the thing. Plus, you're also since we're under. Oh my goodness, what's going on with me? Since we're under the safety car right now too. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you're when you're pitting under the safety car, you kind of have to keep in mind you're looking ahead, maybe 2-3 laps, right?
Oh, look at this! Everybody's going in.
Everybody else is going in now.
What a huge call for Cruz and Mats.
Yep, now all of a sudden they're just going to be, they're bumping right up now.
Absolutely brilliant.
All the way up to 5th and 6th.
Man, now Mats is the biggest gainer on track, up 12 positions. That's great.
Yep, that's great.
That was bold and it worked out.
Yep, but now if you're the Irish Potato, Gexy, Synchro, and Vito, who opted to stay out, yeah, I would be a little bit worried. But at the same time, I guess they probably trust their judgment that they're on the best tire.
It is. I'm riding on Moment Cruz right now, and it is absolutely pouring out.
Oh yeah, look at that. It is. With how slow the cars are going, its visibility's still not great. So it looks like we just went from sunny and cloudy to monsoon. It seems just in a matter of 5 laps.
Absolutely. And what are the top 4 just put in this no man's land spot of you've waited too long under safety car because it could be coming in this lap, and you can't pit obviously because you're going to give up so much time.
Oh yeah.
Cruz and Matt sitting pretty.
Well,
But
that's the
then
thing,
again,
and that was
everybody behind them now is also
on the wets too.
on the wets too. So
Yeah, I'll have to see, but no, that was a good call, and that goes back to, you know, thinking 2-3 laps ahead when you pit under the safety car, right? Because as much as maybe the inters were best when the safety car came out, 3 laps later when the safety car comes in, well, it could be a completely different racetrack. So that was a good call from, and there we go, safety car's coming in.
Maybe Vito and Synchro, Gexy and Potato, all 4 of them just don't think they're ready. So
yeah, we'll take a look. We'll take a look and see. But I think if you're the likes of Vito, you're definitely going to want to play this restart very tactically, I guess.
Yes, Tactical Josh once did. Oh, and he's heating up those tires.
Yeah, I think he's looking to get as much heat as he can before getting started. Synchro keeping right up with him as well,
Yeah,
and so is
inside the gearbox.
yeah, everybody's trying to keep up. But we'll see when Vito decides he wants to get started.
He's gone.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, just trekking around here, and there goes.
On this restart here.
Yeah, back to the restart. So Vito gets a good start. Synchro, not bad, but look at this. Oh, look at this. Cruz right up the back of. Already right up the back of. Oh my goodness! Can I not get the? Well, there we go. Cruz passes. Oh, and they're still going.
Can't handle with those inters. Driving to the side of Mercedes.
Oh, yep, and oh my goodness, that's yeah. But I think Mats and Cruz were going side by side there, unless I'm just misseeing.
Yeah, it was Potato and Potato and Cruz that were fighting. And
oh, it's Potato and Cruz.
Got a bit of understeer into Cruz, pushed by Mats, and Nathan took advantage of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, but now there's a bit of contact between Nathan and Cruz as they're now battling it out side by side here, with AJ Wuhan just looking to bide his time, hoping that they're both gonna make a mistake and he can capitalize.
3-second gap.
Yeah, so Vito definitely not struggling on those intermediate tires, as he's just flying away now. Synchro, on the other hand, in that Haas car, he's definitely feeling some struggle as Gexy is right up beside him, and we've got a whole string of cars all within a second of one another, basically through way down the field from Synchro down. As it looks like
he's gonna want to get by him. He needs to go.
No, it's
contact.
Yeah, there's a bit of contact there with an Irish Potato loses it, and that's what who's he caught with? Was that
was that across the track, almost into Ix, and Ix narrowly avoiding.
Oh my goodness.
Contact with his teammate.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting these terrible camera angles all around with these incidents here, so apologies to everybody watching at home. But here we are. We've got Cruz now. AJ Wuhan looking to pass Cruz, but Irish Potato, he's struggling on those inters. I don't know why he's staying out.
Yes, he can't get by Synchro.
No, and he's just
back up
and he's just falling down the order, I think. And I think AJ Wuhan and Cruz, they're side by side. This game loves to give me the wing angle that really doesn't show anything of the battle.
You should just tap R1, get on board, because it's way more helpful than a wing.
Honestly, that's what I was thinking. Let's take a look. Actually, speaking of the onboard, I'm keeping an eye on Nathan.
Full control of this race.
Yeah, and look at that. I think the wet tires are the better tire to choose, unless you're Vito, apparently, because Nathan is just right up pushing Gexy around this S section here. So I think it's only a matter of time before Nathan can get past. But I do think Synchro's struggling on those intermediate tires.
Side by side.
Yep, let's take a look. And they've been, I mean, the two Red Bull drivers, they've been battling it out through the entire race. Ix makes a very nice move down the inside. There's a bit of contact, it looked like, but I think both drivers are... Oh my goodness, sorry. I think both drivers are okay after that, but Matt's not looking to give up that spot. So it's a nice battle between the two Red Bull drivers. Oh, look at that switchback from Matt. And I think he might just be able to have it stick. But actually, Ix has the inside line. Remember your teammates. You don't want to mess up both your races. But it looks like they're both giving each other the room.
Side by side.
And Mats is able to keep onto the spot, but through all of that, Cruz is going into the pits. So he's getting off those wet tires. I'm not too sure what he's going to decide to put on, but he actually retires from the session. So that's Cruz giving up once again, as we were talking about, giving up the guaranteed points.
So Mercedes will walk away from this race with 0 points.
Yeah, now I'm not too sure what happened to Ix here, because all of a sudden Mats is way ahead of him, and Ix actually got passed by Jordan along the way. So Ix must have had a bit of a tank slapper or something in the wet conditions, because now he's down to 9th.
8 laps to go. The yellow's sector 1 is for Cruz's Ghost. He did retire in the pit.
Yeah, he did retire in the pits, but I think the car just came out and parked it up here. Let's take a look. AJ Wuhan trying to catch up to Nathan. The gap is under a second. Bumblebee had a bit of an issue coming around that left-hander before the back straight, and that gave TRR Racing a pretty easy 10th spot, as Bumblebee falls down to 11th now. Vito is still running away here, with now a 6-second gap.
Just for the rest of the podium, Vito's just walking away, Lewis Hamilton-esque.
Yeah. So definitely for Vito at the yep. Sinker goes wide, and that opens the door for Gexy, who makes no mistake and gets a very quick move done on Synchro, and that puts Gexy up into second now for the Alfa Romeo team with 7 laps to go. So I was just about to say.
Really great drive from the Haas driver in his first race, up the category for Brazil.
Oh yeah, solid drive there. I think the issue is just the tires. Look at this. We've got Irish Potato and AJ Wuhan going side by side, and all of a sudden Irish Potato is able to make the move. AJ Wuhan tries the switchback, but I think it looks like Irish Potato is still able to keep that spot. So this is leading me to believe, is the weather getting better now?
I don't see a lot of rain coming down.
Yeah, it looks like the rain's kind of stopped, so I think we might be in this spot where maybe the Inters might be the better tire again. And I'm looking at Ix, who actually went into the pits for Inters. So
right call, but just so far behind now. It's just
yeah, but it's a tough. Yeah, but it's a tough call to make too, just because with 7 laps to go, you're losing a lot of time on a pit stop. So if you're on those full wets, as much as the Inter might be the best tire, do you want to pit, or do you just want to try to hold off? Because even when you're looking at Ix, he pitted for the Inters, but he's still 19 seconds back now that he's gonna have to make up in 7 laps just to see a driver.
Actually, we got to remember penalties as well, but I don't think any amount of penalties allow Ix to catch Bumblebee unless Bumblebee has a moment. So those wets are struggling, as you can see.
Yeah, because even now I think Synchro might be finding at least a little bit of pace. But Nathan is still keeping him honest now. Yeah, Nathan going into the pits, yeah, he just dives in. So Irish Potato, who stuck it out on those Inters, he's back up into 4th now. And Mats is electing to stay out on the full wets. So Mats and Jordan, they're going to be staying out, so they're probably going to try to go to the end, I would think, as it looks like the rain is just very slowly but surely actually slowing down a little bit here.
Yes, there's only 2 people left on track now on the full wet. Everybody else on Inter.
Yep, and this is actually what I was talking about too. We'll see if the Inters can actually, like, if the likes of Nathan and AJ Wuhan can actually make up the 10-second gap that's been created now between Jordan and Mats. We'll see, but now already Ix is trying to work his way back up, right up behind TRR Racing, who it appears has disconnected. Since through the onboard we've got the little X here. So I was hoping to see a nice little battle on track, but it might not be too much of one. So it should be a quick ninth spot for Ix. Takes a time penalty in the process, but alas, he's up into P9, no less. And it shouldn't be too much of an issue getting that gap made now with 6 laps to go. But here we go. I thought we were gonna have I was gonna say at the start of the race, I thought we were gonna have a quick battle, a good battle for the win here. But looks like Vito just decided he wanted the race win, and he's just gonna run away with it.
Yeah, and Irish Potato closing that gap up to Synchro for that final podium position.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on him now here as a start in lap 23. Can Irish Potato get that last podium position? Can he take it away from Synchro? Synchro was struggling a little bit earlier on when it was the wet tire portion, but he's been doing a good job of just holding off all the other drivers behind him. Yep, so I guess that's Jordan getting onto the intermediates, maybe a lap too late, though. But it does look like Mats is looking to stay out on those wet tires. Yep, there we go. So up into 8th.
He's going to struggle, but he's made those positions right back, so
oh play. Yeah, fair play to him. As he actually beat the crowd in pitting back on the intermediate tire. So a good strategy call from the
is struggling with those wets, but when you do, you've pretty much hung yourself out to dry. You gotta just fully commit to taking these to the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now at this point, if you're the likes of Mats, you just have to, keep your head down and just hope that.
You got a 9-second gap to Nathan, but
yeah, and you just want to hope that these 5 laps. Yeah, you just gotta hope that the 5 laps are enough. Just keep your head down. Don't worry too much about the lap count, and just hope that you're still in 5th by the time you cross the line at the end of lap 28. I'm still keeping an eye on Irish Potato, who's been keeping the gap consistently to under a second on Synchro, but hasn't necessarily been able to close the gap too much now. Now I'm taking a quick look now elsewhere on the tracks. It looks like TRR Racing is getting very close to Bumblebee, so we might actually see a little bit of a battle going on here between those 2 cars, and they're all trying to catch up to Jordan and Ix. So we might actually see.
Oh, and Mats is around in the pit.
So he is going into the pits now. Mats is. Yeah, so look at that. He's finally going to get off those wet tires, but I think he might have been a lap or two too late.
He's had wing damage now, so he's going to have to take a wing, and it's going to help Ix as Ix comes around the final corner, and he's going to get by his teammate, put himself up into 7th.
Yep, so here we go. Mats left the pit lane, but it's a little bit too little too late as he's falling all the way behind to the last of the running cars. Still P11, so still a decent haul of points, but I'm sure he was hoping to get a little bit higher than that. As Ix now, he's in 7th. Irish Potato getting very close to Synchro, down to half a second now. So will he be able to get the move and get that last podium spot in time before
has a lot more ERS saved than you can tell. Potato is pushing right now. I don't know if you have the telemetry up, but
I'll actually get it up now for the end.
Potato, that he's just always hitting the rev limiter.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it is a bit of a bit of an issue with this with the spectator mode in this game with the rev limiters on some of the drivers.
Right on the back of Nathan now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna quickly jump to him. See, because this will be a pretty good battle now for the for 5th between these 2 new drivers. They both have a good amount of ERS to use, so we're probably gonna see a decent battle within the next few laps. Because AJ Wuhan's going to want to get a move on sooner rather than later, because there's only 2-3 laps to go now here in the Grand Prix.
They both are in the high percent 80s. Well, I say that they go down the main straight.
Oh yeah, they're going down the main straight, so AJ Wuhan looking to keep up.
He's already back to 80% realistically with his ERS, so he's just playing the long game here.
Yeah, I think Nathan's doing a...
anything with Synchro either. Just Synchro driving, like,
No, but
one hell of a drive from the Haas driver.
Yep, and I do want to say Nathan just took a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so
yeah,
we haven't talked.
Potato messed up too, so.
Yeah, we haven't spoke about it too much, but these they could be this could actually affect a lot at the end of the race, especially with the gaps as short as they are with some of these drivers. Matt's looking to. Yeah, they're gone now. They're going to show up soon enough. I do see that Mats was able to pass TRR Racing as he's trying to work his way back up the field after taking that very late pit stop for the intermediate tires. We'll see if he can get any further now, and maybe he'll be able to catch up to Bumblebee for that ninth. As we don't quite get to see the gaps too much, but I can definitely tell you that Vito is running away with the lead now. As we can see, Gexy in second, but he's got Synchro pretty close behind him, with Irish Potato keeping Synchro honest as well.
Catching up Gexy, this is great.
Yeah. Oh, well, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Synchro maybe was doing a bit of tire conservation for a better part of the race, and now all of a sudden in the last 2 laps he can just push these inters. Now that he's hopefully got the heat in them, and maybe pass Gexy before the end of the race now for a solid second spot.
Absolutely. You gotta remember, he was in tier 3 a week ago, just having, I wouldn't say terrible results, but he just wasn't getting the results that he clearly has the pace to bring home. So good to see from the Haas driver. Yeah,
and it's good to see that he's definitely found the pace here in tier 2, and it's a very solid showing as Irish Potato, he takes another 3-second penalty.
And Nathan's dropped back. Where did this happen?
Yeah, so Nathan did.
And Potato's wide.
Oh, he did go wide, so that's going to be a loss of time from him now. Now the gap is down to 2.5 seconds, so Cinco can breathe. We got a yellow flag. Who is that? That's Ix, I think, who had a bit of an incident in the S section, so he falls down to 10th with 2 laps to go. So a bit of a. Oh no, is there? I'm not seeing any damage on. Oh no, as things get bad to worse, as Ix decides he wants to do a bit of a donut to celebrate the incident, as he's now last of the running cars in 11th. But let's jump back to Synchro as the gap was closed within a lap. He brought the gap from 1.1 to 0.4. So now that we're starting the penultimate lap now, will Synchro be able to pass Gexy to take that second spot? Let's take a look. Gexy has been using a lot of ERS to hold on to that second place. Not to say that Synchro hasn't either, but Synchro's got in a bit of a better spot in terms of ERS management compared to Gexy. Would say, but
no DRS for these drivers to use to get that advantage, so it's going to be purely on the driver's skill to get by one another.
Yeah, but now of course that we've got a few gaps starting to close now, as I'm seeing. Let's see, AJ Wuhan still keeping up with Nathan, and it looks like as though that's Bumblebee closing up on. Oh, well, look at that! DRS actually got enabled now all of a sudden, so it looks like we're back to. It's great for Synchro. Actually, take a look. Because here we go. So Synchro. Yep, I think he's actually gonna get it. Goes on the outside, but it's gonna turn into the inside on the next corner. Let's see. Yep.
Bit of a lockup, manages to get it through into P2. Synchro.
Yep. So Synchro up into second. So where I thought he was just gonna be falling down the order. He brings him back up. Yep, Nathan and AJ Wuhan battling it out. It looks like AJ Wuhan just got the move done on that back straight.
Matt's out of the race.
What happened to Mats now?
He lost it.
Oh my goodness! So here we are on the penultimate lap. It looks like that's Mats, who unfortunately had to.
Get out of turn 10. Oh, I think he's retired on track.
Oh no! Did he retire? Oh yeah! Look at that. His car was still going. I'm riding with.
No.
I want to see where he is now, if he took some damage. And who is that? That's Vito. Oh my god, Vito going into the pits.
What?
He's putting the soft tires on.
What?
So
What?
Vito going on the dries. Ix is on the mediums, but
I
Vito,
don't understand.
he on the last.
Synchro is in the lead of this race.
Whoa.
Wow.
You could not have predicted this. I don't know what to say.
Coda.
But Vito, why?
Last season in Tier 1 with Lewis blowing a tire on the last lap. Oh!
What?
Gexy's
off! Oh my goodness, Gexy's off, and he's taken a long time to get back on track. So it's Irish Potato up into P2. Vito flies by Nathan for 5th. So is Vito actually going to be able to make up some time on the last lap? But I think
he had an 8-second gap.
That's the thing. He could have just stayed on the inters like everybody else, kept that 8-second gap, and gotten the win. But he decided to pit, maybe looking to go for a fastest lap or something, but he's going to lose out on all that extra potential of points that he could have gotten from finishing first.
Gexy's ahead of me. It's just, as it stands right now, Gexy
but look at
the points lead less.
But look at Vito closing. Look at Vito closing the gap like crazy already. 2 corners after making the move on AJ Wuhan, there's some contact, but it looks like Vito actually passes Gexy to get back up into the podium. But let's jump to Synchro here, as what a race by the Haas driver in his debut. Really basking it in, and there we go as he takes the victory here.
The U.S. Grand Prix.
And actually, look at that. Vito up into second after the penalties from Irish Potato. Gexy up into second after penalties as well, as Vito goes down to third. And AJ Wuhan in fourth. And Irish Potato was just continuously falling down the order with the penalties.
Vito did not even get the fastest lap, so Gexy will come away from this race with the points lead.
Yeah, so Gexy's going to lead the points. Vito, after a bit of a questionable decision to pit for softs at the end, ends up finishing the race in third. Irish Potato, he crossed, I believe, second on track, but fell down to sixth due to penalties. As we've got everybody crossing the line now, except for Ix, who Ix had a very good race, but unfortunately, right at the end, had a bit of an incident, and that cost him a decent finish. But what a race!
Let's see if we can get these guys in here. I really need to know what Vito was thinking.
Yeah, like I really don't know what went through Vito's head in this decision to pit. But there we go. We see the. Yes, we're all watching the podium now. Synchro definitely enjoying the champagne. See what we can get of it. Oh my gosh, what a finale we had.
An all Ferrari podium.
Yep, an all Ferrari podium. So there we go. Let's run down the order. Synchro takes the win in his debut here on Tier 2 and gets driver of the day as far as the game is aware. Gexy finishes in second, and that's Vito rounds up the top 3. And speaking of Gexy, it looks like we just got him into the party now.
Yes.
Yes. So Gexy, what a crazy race, wouldn't you say? Talk us through it a little bit.
Well, during qualifying, I was very on the edge about going dry or wet with the setup, so I just went kind of in between, and then I qualified P4, I think, so that went well. Yeah, then just pitting just during the first safety car for the mediums helped me out with staying till it started raining. And then when it started raining, I just went for the inters and tried to go till the end. But the timing with it going dry was so horrible. But it worked out for me staying out, I think, because I did finish ahead of Vito. But yeah, I spun because of the grip, and I lost out on the win because of that, I think.
Yeah, that was it was definitely a tough spin right at the end there, but you still came out with a decent finish, finishing in second.
I didn't expect it. Yeah.
Vito, I gotta ask, bud, what's with an almost 9-second gap between you and Synchro, what was the call in the pit? Were the tires that bad?
Yeah, the tires were never more terrible than that. Yeah, I would have probably spin out if I didn't pit, so yeah. With 2 laps to go, yeah, with actually 3 laps to go, everything was doing perfect, but when DRS got disabled, it was just terrible, so I had to pit, and in the end, yeah, it was quite close with Gexy. I was surprised that the gap was that close, actually, but yeah.
Yeah,
It was perfect until two laps to go.
Well, as it stands right now, with the unofficial results being that Gexy, like, you guys were in a tight battle for championship lead. As Vito, you had a 2-point lead, and I think as it stands now, you guys might be only separated by 1 point with Gexy having the better hand in P1. But it's just you two at the top. So is this something we're going to see all season? You two just going at it for this title? Because it's great to watch, great to commentate. So.
Well, I think some of the new guys, they are quick, so I think some of them will join in later on. But yeah, for now it's just me and Vito, I think, and also in the constructors, Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. So yeah, it will be exciting.
Yeah, I agree with Gexy. We had a great battle in Austria, also, yeah, in pretty much every race, also in the last race. In this race it was again close, so yeah, it will probably be a very great fight until the end.
Yep.
And I think we actually got Synchro into the party. Synchro, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
All right, perfect. So, how are you feeling? First race in Tier 2 and first victory.
I feel so happy. I'm in ISRL this since beginning, and you never forgot me, and I'm so happy to win this race.
Oh yeah, and it was a great showing. Did you see yourself ending up on the top step of the podium at the start of the race at all?
No, I don't fear at all. No. But it's a funny race. Thank you. What you are a great drive too.
Oh yeah, it was a fantastic drive. But I think that unless Stunik, if you have any other questions, I think that'll just about do it for us here for the Tier 2 stream.
I do want to touch base with Vito on what I mentioned earlier in the stream with the teammate. Being how, are you going to have a talk with Lorenzo, seeing how, like, we've only had, I think it was 11 finishers, so there was points to be had, especially with the safety car. Your teammate just gave up and just left the session. It's such a close battle for the constructors as well as the drivers. You're trying to win essentially both of them. How do you feel about that? Because you finishing on the podium and having a guy like a teammate like Lorenzo who has pace could have brought in huge points.
Yeah, the points at this point are very important, but yeah, he's doing very great qualifying this season, but yeah, he DM'd me and said that his consistency is not quite there yet. But yeah, I know that he's underperforming at the moment, and he's just frustrating, so I can understand why he retired from the session. But yeah, we need points, but yeah, another great chunk of points today, even though he didn't finish.
Oh yeah, so I think that'll probably just about do it for us here on the Tier 2 stream. But don't go anywhere too quickly, because in about half an hour from now, we're gonna have the main event, which is the Tier 1 race around this exact track for the U.S. Grand Prix. But for the moment, this is all we have for you. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the race as much as we did. And on behalf of Studik, myself, and everybody else, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.